Well, hello and welcome again to our reading of Odyssey, Book 1, and we're up to line 221, I think. So, what's been happening is Telemachus is having discussions with Athena in the guise of Mentes, and Mentes has said, are you really the son of Odysseus? And Telemachus says, well, I'm told that I am, but it's hard to know, but they say that I am, since you ask me this. And then the grey-eyed goddess Athena then says to him, Umen toi, and I think this is almost a wish here, that the gods, it's actually active, so the gods did not place your race, your family, to be nonumnon, this is from the negative ner plus onoma root, to be nameless opiso hereafter. Since Penelope bore such a one as you, and the get is emphatic, since in fact Penelope bore such a man as you. But come, speak this and relate it to me truly. It's that stock phrase we've had there before. Tis days, what is this feast? Day, now that day is this day here. It's just another form of day. It's not the feast, it's the particle. So, and this is slightly idiomatic here. So it says something like, what feast, what crowd can this be? So what crowd is this? Tipti for potty. Whatever, creo is a noun, need, understand, comes upon you. So what has compelled you to have this feast? Elapine, there are various sorts of feasts. This is a public feast which is meant to be funded by the host, as opposed to an erenos, which is a kind of private dinner where the guests have to bring their own food, where everyone contributes to it. So Athena says, is it a public feast or a gamos, a marriage, since this is not an erenos. It's not a private dinner to which everyone contributes. And thus, insolent men haughtily seem to be dining about your house. So since these are rude, insolent men acting haughtily, arrogantly, they seem to be having to be dining up and down your house. For a man seeing all these disgraceful things would become angry. A man who pinutos means sensible. It's connected with that pepneumenos word. Whoever sensible might come among them. So whatever man who might come among them, a man of sense, would be angry seeing such disgraceful behaviour, or seeing much disgraceful seeing much disgraceful behaviour. And thoughtful Telemachus then said to her in reply, it's her because it's Athena, but of course we're meant to think of it as Mentes as well. O stranger, since you ask me about these things and you inquire, now the melen here is going to be, is promised to be, or presumably was. So the house once, so this house once promised Emini to be, there's your infinitive for Ani, Aphneos, rich and amumone, well, often translated blameless, but here I think noble. Ofra, now Ofra plus eti here, while that man, that's Odysseus, was still epidemios in the land, in the country. But now the gods, now this is boulamai, the upsilon's is not there for the sake of meter, they've shortened it. But now the gods wish differently, having devised evil things. And they have made that man, Odysseus, notice often in Homer, in the early books here, before Odysseus actually even appears, he's always, or very commonly referred to as Canos or Canon, that man. So they have made that man aistos, literally inconspicuous, so invisible, not to be seen, perhaps inconspicuous, beyond all men, since now there's our verb ekakoimen. This is from akamai, to grieve. This is a reduplicated aorist middle optative from akamai, to grieve. Since I would not grieve so much with a man who is for him if he were dead. So I wouldn't be so upset about him if he were dead, and if he was tamed with his comrades in the land of the Trojans. Demos is always land in Homer, in the land of the Trojans, either in the hands of friends, when, we get this nice imagery here, he had spun out the long thread of war. This is an imagery from weaving that we'll see a couple of times in Homer. It turns up again at the beginning of book 24 of the Iliad, the same imagery used here. And in that case, all the Achaeans, the Panachaioi, would have made a tomb for him, and he would win great glory thereafter for his son. But now the Harpies, these are the whirlwinds, Anerebs on top, have carried him off Arcleos without report. Have carried him off without report. He has gone. Oikoto aistos. He is gone. That word is often used when someone has died. So perhaps he's dead, or he's disappeared, he's unseen, he's unheard of, unperceived. This is from that punthanamai root with the alpha privative. And kalepen for katalipen, he has left for me pains and misery, and nor still grieving, not only weeping do I grieve for him alone, since, so he's not the only thing that I'm grieving about, since the gods have made other evil cares for me, since the gods indeed have given me other evil cares. For as many as are the best, as many as best men rule in the islands, so all the best men who rule in the islands, in Dulakian and Sami and woody Zakynthos, or as many as rule in rocky Ithaca. Notice the accent on kata, which means it's going the bit before it. Such men are wooing my mother, and they wear out, they're using up, they're wearing out the house. And she neither refuses a hateful marriage, nor is she able to make an end of it. And they, eating out my house, they are destroying it. They wear it out. And Tucker, soon, by the way, Tucker never means perhaps in Homer, it's always soon. For soon, this is from diario, to ruin. That's a strong word, it means really to smash to pieces, but we translate it as ruin here. And they indeed ruining also me, myself. So they're also ruining, and soon they will also ruin me.